What's up, YouTube fam? Stark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. That is Kitty. Kitty is hanging out, wants all the attention and all the wub-wubs. He's doing better. Anyway, so this will be my second time today getting my study on. I'm checking out my notes. And ooh, that's a lot of boobies. Oh, sorry. Don't even know if I can say that on YouTube. Anyway, I basically started writing my trading plan properly today. It's it's probably hard to see, you know. Don't fall down, buddy. But anyway, I figured for the setups that I'm looking for, just practice looking for those. So I'm gonna have this over here and hope Kitty doesn't spend his entire time licking the paper, because for some reason he seems to like licking the paper. So I'm actually going to pull up my screenshot of what I'm looking for. It's in my trading notes. And I'm going to go with a lighter template. And just for fun, I'm going to copy this over and show you what I was looking at this morning in terms of trade setups. He's found it. All right, so that sounds like a good time. He is like at the front of this, licking the laptop. Ridiculous. All right, let's get this pop in. Let's get tiny. Tiny. All right. All right, so I'm going to nip over to my back testing. Really, Kitty? Really? Do you have to? Right there. So I'm gonna adjust to the default template I made this morning. So I want to try for a lighter tone in here. I wonder if I can change those. I didn't realize that the side numbers would be that shade. Okay, let's see. Parents, crosshairs, colors that. Like that. I don't know what crosshairs is. Sorry, it's gonna be annoying. Text. There we are. Beautiful. And we'll be adjusting to ESM for the June contract and day. And how does that look on this? Yeah, so let me know if that looks better. Let's clean this out. And just for your edification and mine, if you hear like a paper sound, that's my cat licking my note section. Anyway, so from a shorting perspective, and I'm going to take this opportunity to see if I can find long examples of this. But basically, I'm going to be looking for this type of setup, right? So price has been moving up, up, up. Up here, we have a new week opening gap from the 26th of February. It tapped up to an old low and then dropped, probably came back up, but then properly gave me a shift in market structure. So then left a volume imbalance, rejection block up here, came right back up into it. And let's make this a little bit bigger, and I can show you on the chart where we had a combination of the volume imbalance and bearish order block in the same spot. Good place for an entry at the top of that, or at the base. Base because you're not going to assume it's just going to work, right? They took sell side out here and then rallied back up. Fair value gap, volume imbalance, 1, 2, 3 taps. So, with the third tap and it's dropping, good place for an entry, aiming for, I need to adjust my Fibonacci. It's really light against this background. And then it gave us another opportunity after it rallied up again. We had a nice break here. And then it came up to the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. which was the midpoint of this, almost the midpoint of this bearish order block, tapped it once and then dropped. Now, this is one of those scenarios where you can either assume because it's coming down that it's going to do that and drop, or once it did that, the next candle, take it. Something like that. It's all in the 1 minute. And then, of course, you had the new day opening gap for Friday. They took sell side and they were dropping further down for this second sell side. So these two would have been very nice entries. So we had one here, one here. This one had the original run up, shift, run back up, but it didn't leave a fair value gap, right? And so once you saw it rolling back up and it finally did leave a volume imbalance and a fair value gap, technically, any inside the fair value gap would have been fair game. And then you could have said, all right, so order block, fair value gap, because we've already gotten 1, 2, attempts. This one with another green, red, take an entry if it taps here again and go. Anyway, so that's basically what I'm looking for. And I want to see if I can note it. So the thing that's really important for me to recognize in this scenario is, once it shifted, right, and it dropped and it took out, sell side, came back up and it took out some buy side here and then tipped back in. This one did a similar thing, dropped. Anybody who went short here got shook out, right, did a proper break. And then anybody who was still going short, they shook them out, came back up, and then took them down. So let's see if we can find it. We're going to go ahead and delete that. And I'm trying to decide if I like this background. Where's my little wristy thingy? Yeah. All right. So we're just back testing. And now we're going to look for a long opportunity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the replay button for the day before when everything was reaching up. And from a quarterly shift perspective, this is March, so beginning of February would be when I would start. And then if there's no significant shifts, like we've been going up, great. The main shift happened here. And that's like the whole IPTA data range thing, right? So if I were to, sorry, it's not the right one. Let me go to my new week. Really, Jojo? He is just like hugging it and just licking the holy heck out of it. Oh, another example here. Note the candles inside the fair value gap and how it's acting as resistance. Watch the wicks and enter after 2 to 3 confirmations on green candle. Again, still deciding if I like this or not, or maybe it needs to be a little bit darker in the background, but it's really good for like printing things out, Maybe just a smidge darker. Let's see. We'll see. Okay, so let's dig into the daily here and auto that. And I can clean this out. I hope I took a screenshot. Let me double check before I delete things. Yes, I do. Perfect. Very, very good. Let's do a little mini cleanup. So let's take that out. I want to keep this one as clean as possible or as much as I can because this one is for new week opening gap activities for the most part. So that's what these all are. I probably will change different colors. Here's that old low that I was referencing. Okay, so I had in this one specified, yeah, I'm gonna have to change everything to be, let's make that black if I'm gonna use this background. So these are quarterly shifts and I'm getting off track, but seeing as I'm testing it out and see how I like it trading wise, 60, 40, 20. And let's see. It's like a bright. Yeah, I might like the red better. Whatever. Anyway, 60 days ago on this contract, it wasn't being traded as much, so the first real shift happened at the 40 day. Actually, no. Yeah, somewhere within the 40-day time frame, the shift happened here. Boom. And then they came back into this little tiny fair value gap order block right there. And then they shifted bullish. So let's just change all of these really quickly. And honestly, I'm so close to the screen, I don't know if I'm like, oh good, I'm not messing that up. Perfect. Okay. So once I do this practice, I think I'll stop for the day because I've been going for a while. Anyway, so I wanted to see, where we were. So in the last 40 days prior to February to November, like 60, the next shift that happened, it happened here. They shifted, dropped, and now we're coming in. So we're looking at 20 days. We've just been working our way down into this fair value gap, into this order block. We hung out in the order block, and we didn't take out the lows. Still bullish for now. We're just repricing, giving institutions another chance to go long, right? And then, so the lows in 20 days is all the way down here. They haven't taken them. They came close, but they haven't taken them. And the highest high in 20 days was here. They took them here. The highest high in 40 days is still that one, and the lowest low here. 60 days, now we have this highest high, and then the lowest low is still that one. They haven't taken it yet. So technically still bullish, at least just from an IPTA perspective. So somewhere around here we're gonna see like a particular change, potential change and shift. So these are the quarterly sections that I'm tracking for now. Save that, and let's continue on with our, let's see if we're gonna really be able to utilize this. It's a beautiful sunny day. Well, so I apologize if there's weird light filtering. And where are my glasses? Are they too far away? Hang on a tick. The kitty is hanging out in front, so I'm gonna put this right here. And obviously I'm not prepared. Hot pad behind me for relaxation. And we're back. And now, got the glasses. So we're gonna spend probably the next hour or more, I don't know, looking for these setups. Because if this is what I'm planning on trading, and I've written my trading plan, that's exactly what I'm gonna be looking for. So I need to be able to spot it in my sleep. So let's go searching. Let's go searching. I'm gonna open up my trading plan in and just have and just so you guys know, right? Based on really, I'm happy he's feeling so playful, honestly. I really am happy he's feeling playful. So my trading plan, just as an FYI, and I probably do a video just kind of going through it and walking through my process once I've refined it further. But for now, I'm just looking at staying on top of what my requirements are for an entry. So let's go and search. So we've hit the replay button. Let's hit 4 hour. So I want to start at the beginning of the day. So what day is this? Is it Thursday? Okay. So I'm gonna do this and drop us into Tuesday, maybe. Yeah. Let's drop us late Monday night and see if we can't find anything in the London session. So what time is that? 9 o'clock? All right, cool. So just for funsies, I want to see what the central bank digital range is. So from from about 2 o'clock to 8. So that's the high there. Where is 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock's there. So that's the range. Okay, so let's just note this as CBDR, and then for Asia, we'll figure out what that is. And so we're on the 1 hour, so it's 9 o'clock. So Asia tends to, it's like an accumulation space. They consolidate a lot. Doesn't mean it can't move, but so 11 o'clock, midnight. So let's note midnight opening. Right, let's pop that in there. And let's see. So I'm gonna push it forward 1 more hour, and then let's drop down to the 15-minute. And now I'm gonna look for the Asian range. So that's 8 o'clock to midnight, just about here. So that's the Asian range. Let's give that a different color. It's light orange. Asian. Now, depending on how many ticks it is, we can, again, range. Haha. All right, cool. So we have those 2 options there. Perfect. So that seems too big for me, so Asian range makes more sense. And that's 145. Let's drop down. So let's see, midnight, what did price do? And let's take a look at what's been happening, right? So we've had essentially a big drop, and then a shift. But once they took this out, nice shift, came back down into this order block right there, and then consolidated. So given that we've been going down, and honestly, let me dip back into my new week opening gap and see 38, 40, 39, see if there's a new week opening gap down there. It probably is. Okay, so, but I want to know what's above it so 3905 through, let's drop down to the 1 hour on that. So 38.99, 3905, 38.99, 3905. So where are we in price? 3901. Hold on. 3901. So 3905, 3900. Okay. All right. Let's just note where we are so we know. 3905. There. Let's make that line and make it blue. And then 3900, I think. Something like that. 3905. Okay. And let's drop that by 1 tick. All right. So, and let's get the center. Approximation of the center is about right there. And let's do that. And what's above it? So 3920.50, 3913.50. So let's note that. 3920. 3920.50. Oops. Right there. And let's make that a line. And then 39, was it 13? It's 3913.50. All right. All right, perfect. And let's estimate midpoint. approximately right there. Dotted. Okay, perfect. So now we have, things to look for. So at this point, let's be in like the 1 hour and see what our ranges are, right? So the CBDR is pretty big range, the Asian range. If it's going up, I'm thinking about standard deviations, right? So if I were to clone this, plop it this way, let's give that a different shade. Let's make that like green. Right, and then let's just do 2 standard deviations up, see how far it can go. And let's I don't know, let's do like a light blue. Okay. Oh, I do like this. It's much prettier. Okay. And what's up here? What's left to be played with? So, so the high and the lows for the 60 minutes, ICT noted that we should pay attention to those. So the lows on the 60 minutes all the way down here. Let's call that sell side. We need to change the, let's make it black. Let's make it bold. And let's adjust the sell side liquidity. Because I think I like this. I like this lighter color shades. Yes. Okay. And then the highs on the 60 minutes here. Now this is pretty close to, so I'm going to note this as buy side. Same thing. Let's adjust the color to that and bold it and lowercase save as by side, and let's just overwrite that. Okay, beautiful. Oh, you sleepy kitty. All right, so these are my 60-minute highs, lows. This is where buy side's resting, sell side's all the way down here. There's definitely sell side below here as well. And things to note as well. This, I'm going to note consequent encroachment of this wick right here. So I'm just looking at midpoint. And at this point, I'm just noting areas of interest, right? I'm going to have to change the colors. And let's make that a little thicker. And let's get in here again. Let's change the colors, bold them. And I'm going to have to save the template. Capital C. Beautiful. Yeah, we'll definitely be using this more. It's easier to see. And then same thing, we have this big wick up here. So I'm going to note that as a point of interest. And consequent encroachment is the midpoint of the wick, right? So let's do that. Now that we've updated it, beautiful. Delete that. Perfect. And these are areas of interest for, ranging. And I know it's about to get busy. 60-minute fair value gap all the way up here. So thinking about areas where price might reach up into. Need to make that in the center. On the top there. And okay. And we also have the rest of this fair value gap to play with as well. So target areas of interest. And we're here and hey buddy. Okay. In terms of, all right, so let's dip back down into the 15-minute. And what is happening? So we are at the new week opening gap. And I note this small fair value gap that seems to be holding price up. It is 1:45 in the AMs. Whoa, careful. Oh, he's going a little blind, so he's not as steady on his feet as he used to be. Okay, all right. So we've tapped into this. We've already filled it with this wick here. And I'm curious, did they hit CR on that wick? Just gonna push that over. Yeah, like spot on. That's fun. Let's just note that. Consequent encroachment. All right, so let's drop down into the 5-minute. Cool. So, Jojo, kitty, come on, behave yourself. All right, so what are we looking at here? So it is just rolling into Tuesday. We've got Monday's high all the way up here. Let's see, they haven't taken out Monday's low. And they rolled in, rolled back up. We had a nice shift here, came back up, rolled up, took out the buy side here, made some adjustments, and steadily making their way back down. So what they haven't done is come back down into this fair value gap all the way down here to do anything. So anything juicy. All right, so we have these relative equal highs up here. You know they're going to come up for it. So I'm feeling pretty bullish with the shift here. They've come back down into order block. Use this base one here. Let's see what's the high of this. Looking up here, the high of that is 38.98.50. What's the low of this? 38.98. So yeah, overlapped. Beautiful. All right. So what else is in this general vicinity? Just gotta be aware of every little thing, right? So we know we can refine this fair value gap right here. Refine it even further now. All right. And they tapped consequent encroachment. So right now I'm looking for a long entry, and I need them to come up, give me a shift, and then leave me with a fair value gap I can play with. So let's see, it's dropped down to the 1 minute. All right, so what are we looking at here? We have a shift above here. Ooh, volume imbalance. Liquidity, well, combination, volume imbalance, liquidity void. Now we have a little order block here. I'm gonna use the further one away. That's in line, right, almost center of that. So I'm looking for them to come back down to right about there. And per my thing, my stop loss can only be up to 8. Sorry, 8 ticks at 1%, which puts me nicely below this, below the new week opening gap. So let's see how they play. Now, in terms of what I'm reaching for, these relative equal highs up here look pretty juicy. So let's grab the fib and drop it on this base right here. And we're just using it for targeting. Plop that up there. And what's higher than this? 39.13.50. Okay. So I'm looking for that guy. It's 55 ticks. Let's dig a little deeper, right? So this is step 1 standard deviation of the Asian range. Let's see if we can tip our way all the way to consequent encroachment of that wick up there. What's that? And then, oof, that's a lot of ticks. We'll have to manage the heck out of this trade. So I'm going to be pressing the fake button down here and seeing how that works out for us. And also, we do have this fair value gap that's up there. So let's say we're aiming for that all the way up there. It's close to midpoint, just a few ticks below it. So let's let that be the target. One big run. That's what we're looking for. One big juicy run. So opening price at midnight. They kind of hung out. I'm considering this a Judas swing, right? Since I'm bullish based off of the behavior. Judas swing. So let's see if we get an entry. All right. So let's dig forward. All right. So I'm looking for them to come fill this in, and then we'll get a little buy-in. There it is. And let's hit buy right there. You see our stop loss is right there. So let's see. Okay, so we technically have a long way to go for where we want to be. Wow, okay. It's okay, we're still within our, and what have they done? Tap that, I could get stopped out. Okay, so that's me. Stopped out, flatten. So I still think my idea is correct, but let's back up and see. Oh, okay. So I was wrong there, right? Where did that come from? That guy, that guy. That's been tapped into. What's left of this? Find it down to what's left. It's about that much left. All right, so that's $100 loss right there. Not quite accurate, but it'd be about $100. Now, for this wick right here, I'm just gonna note CE just so I'm aware of where it is, and we'll reassess. Now, order block right here, 38. Let's go about middle. Yeah, 38.95.25. Let's see what they do. This is not the best. I shouldn't have. So digging in. All right. So I am all kinds of wrong. That's why we're still doing this, right? So if that's the case, let's go back up to the higher time frame. And what was wrong with, go away. What's wrong with my assessment here? Okay, what's the time? Ah, I'm forgetting the most important part. Time and price, right? So after 2 o'clock would give us what we need. So right now we have sell side. Let's note that. Yep, we've got sell side liquidity under here. And also under here. So let's see. Looks like they want to take out the Asian range. Still think it's going up. Okay, so they took sell side. So there's consequent encroachment down here of a higher time frame wick. Have anything else down here? Okay. So sell side, and let's remove one of these CRs. That one. There's a higher time frame CR in here somewhere. Okay, so we'll come back to that. Let's continue on. Oh, still in 1 minute. Okay, so it is 2:24. Okay. Get a rejection with their sell side. I wonder if we can do when we're doing it like that, add the NASDAQ in here. Let's see. And it would let me utilize, sweet, it does. Nice. Honestly, did not know that. All right, let's just switch that out. We're going to use this for, oh, that looks so much better on here. I like that. Much better. Okay. Because then I could have been looking for smart money stuff. So, similar behaviors. So I'm just gonna have to wait. Nothing to stop the bullishness. fair value gap that they're being rejected off of, that little guy right there. Wow, that's a big gap right there. All random. Okay, so consolidating now. All right, so for a switch to bullishness, I need them to take this out and then give me something useful. Nothing all too terrible. So I'm just waiting. Okay, let's focus on this. And sometimes I'm clicking too fast. All right, so long wick here, scrolling into and not caring about this fair value gap, but respecting this one. So I could consider this a bit of a shift, but not really. Fair value gap right here. It came back into it and went down. No, not quite what I want. No fair value gap. Not, well, there's a tiny one here. I want to see them take this out and get back in here. But it is somewhat promising. Now, look at the NASDAQ. It's flat. Okay, let's not even use that one. Let's use it here. So that's actually tilting downward. And from the same spot, S&P is tilting upward. I don't know. Base is tilting upwards. The top isn't. I don't know. Let's get a wet the whistle. Tapioca. Okay, where's the midnight opening price? It's all the way up here. Wow, we really dropped a lot. So if we're going long, getting something below this to go up is still ideal. This guy though, I needed to bust through. Oh, hello. Are you guys seeing this? Hey buddy, what's up? Yeah. Pawing at me, which is so fascinating. All right, let's keep it moving. All right. Oh, oh, are you gonna step on me? Is that? He's doing it now. That's great. Don't fall off. Okay. Okay, let's get zoomed in because I'm feeling very bullish for this day. And let's see. What have they left us? They finally going to give us a fair value gap in here to use? Uh, big one up here. Base of this. I fully expect them to dive into that. This is such a weird behavior. Let me reference my charts here. And going long is always a lot harder for me than going short. I don't know about you guys. Drop something in the comments if there's one that's like easier for you to understand, you know? Because I find so I need them to come and take some stuff out, you know, to go up. So we have this guy, took that. Let's continue. So we're not in here. It's just a reference point. All right, I want them to take this out in here and then use this as support. Let's see. Okay. Now, did I miss something? I probably did, because technically we had a shift here but they didn't give us a fair value gap. But then came back up and we had this guy right here. So that's an entry. Now, could I have entered like the order block? Actually, I want to use like stronger order block. So use this guy. As long as it's inside of the fair value gap, right? There's that guy. So if I'd use that and I wanted 8 ticks, just 8. If it doesn't give me 8 ticks, then I'm not doing it, right? That's 9. And did my entry adjust? It did a little bit, okay. So 8 ticks. Would I have been stopped out when it came back down? Let's see. 38.92 even. And the low of this, 38.92 even. Boom, knocked out. Now, if I had said, oh, wait, hold on. Just control D. Okay, fine, whatever. So if I had said, I want that order block, right? And then wait for it to dip back in and then leave me something else. So let's see, right? I could have waited, seen this wicking right here, and then got the entry that I wanted after the fact. And then I would not have been taken out because they already took everybody out here. Other opportunity for an entry is right here, volume imbalance. So volume imbalance. Not spending, let's put this on the bottom. And let's change that to black. Okay, so volume imbalance. Now, this volume imbalance here, I always like the bottom of it, right? Or the top, technically, whatever. 8 ticks, put me just below here. That would have been fine. And, you know, if I'm going to keep it relatively simple, aim for the end of that. It's 40 ticks. Would have gotten it nicely there. Let's see if they give us like a proper entry for me to hit the buy button. Oh, whatever. I'll reset that. All right, so we are SMT divergence. This guy wasn't trying to make a higher high for a little bit there. And this was very, very bullish to that point, right there. Right there, right there. Sometimes, given the nature of this and this, I have to assume that, you know, we're going up and this is lying about direction. So, all right, let's continue. All right, so now we've gotten a nice shift. They've taken that out. Beautiful. Now here's what I want. We have fair value gap right here, right? This is a breaker block because, you know, we're going down. We're going to continue going down. We've got a low here, lower low. We just busted through it. So what I want is for this to remain open. And I need them to hit it a couple times and say it is so. Like the way it's doing it right there. So let's say I believe this, right? Now my entry is right here. Let's see, 8 ticks. That puts me below that. And what am I targeting for? The top of this new week opening gap up here. And that's 71 ticks going all the way up there. Now, let's zoom in. Let's minimize that. Oops, Control Z. And see, now my primary concern is they do once they tap this and just get in, they do like to come back down. So my preference would be for them to not do that, but let's see if we can't get something from here. Let's click that. All right. And let's so limit order. would have been there. Can't press the button because it didn't stop there. So, all right. Looks like in this case, they are going to come all the way down. So then I would be stopped out right there. Because fun fact, 3,950, the low of this candle is 3,950. Ah, sigh. But that's the problem, right? They keep, whenever they're in here, they want to come back all the way down. So the general potential is this, right? Given that they're inside the new week opening gap, they gave us a shift. Let me assume they're going to come back into this. So I'm going to say I want right there and 8 ticks, right? And my general expectation is the top of this thing right here. Because you see how they like to wick through it. That's 92 ticks. So I would technically be down $200. This point is my last attempt. We'll see what they give us, right? And let's see. Oh, am I forgetting other things in here? Oh, fair value gap in here, hanging out. Let's see, turning around. Okay, so the assumption is this then. I mean, it's not going to always happen. But if I had chosen the midpoint, 8 ticks, was that what I did? Or did I grab the top? Let's see. Okay, so if I'd chosen the midpoint instead, right? So would have gotten it when they snatched down there, 8 ticks is at the end, and try to go up. I don't know. Let's see. And we're trying to go up to that. Okay. Okay. Acting as resistance. Coming back down. Took that out. What is in this general vicinity? It's fair value gap. Still need it to act as support. Now, again, we are inside of this, we're at the midpoint of this fair value gap. So I'm going to hit the buy button and we'll delete that for now. And let's see. Oh, actually, if I'm buying it right there, then let me denote my 8 ticks and we'll delete this one for now. And just so I can plan for that approximation. So I just don't know if they're going to want to come and take this out, but I want this to act as, damn it. Okay. So it's 125. I would have flattened there. So that would be another 200. So, this is the part that I need to get comfortable with, right? Like, obviously and I said I wanted them to come and take out these lows, but they're not coming to do it, right? This is where they're coming, I think. So, and I did specify that as a potential option. I said midpoint here. And so this has been my third try on this particular trade. And let's see, because I just want to trade between these new week opening gaps, right? So 200 lost approximately where I could actually press the button. So come on. Okay. All right. Okay. Down she goes. I'm going to buy here because that's what I'm looking for. I don't know. I think I should have waited for one more candle, but it's good to buy on the red candle. I'm pretty sure it's not coming any lower, but you know, I could be into all kinds of wrong. Okay. All right, so there's a certain amount of patience that I need this not to become like resistance. They're gonna dip back into it. That's just what they do. So not worrying about it. Let's tap that back out. Fair value gap in here. All right. You need this to be support. And flatten. And I'm out again. Dang. I think the trade idea is still good. Just understanding how far they'll go. So once, twice. Okay. Where are you going? Okay. What did I miss? That one. They're ignoring this guy. Well, they're not ignoring it. Look how they're tapping it. They're using it. Okay, so we're down about 300. And yes, I'm still bullish, which is ridiculous, I know, but still bullish. And maybe I should be looking at this on a higher time frame. Shift, come back into an order block. It has to be a higher time frame order block. Something that correlates with volume imbalance at the top of that. So it should have been down 38.93.50. Okay. All right. This is what I need to do. I need to learn to follow the process. Okay, so now for me to switch back to bullish, I need it to turn, give me a proper shift, leave a fair value gap, and let's go. So right now they've taken sell side here, here, here. Is that enough? Let's see. Okay. Resistance on that fair value gap. And you can say it, I'm being super stubborn. Okay. Okay. So things to note when we're looking at these things, right? Like, so when they're dropping down, right, they're, the highs aren't being taken as it's dropping, right? It's dropping. And then when it's going up, the lows aren't being taken as it's dropping, right? So then it made a shift here and just kept shifting, kept shifting. So the highs, sorry, haven't been taken. So I need them to take out this high, like they did here, but they playing with my emotions when they came back down. And let's plop this guy up. So what are we looking at here? Higher high there, lower low here. So I guess the expectation is if that's higher high, lower low, so you should expect them to turn around. Okay. In the opposite direction. I prefer the scenario where this takes out the lows. Let's see. Let's see. Yup. Yup. Yes. No. So that's still in lockstep at the moment. Shift. Okay. So what I like about this scenario now is I should have waited, right? So we had this guy, took out 1, 2, 3, right? And now we're shifting in the opposite direction. And we've left a fair value gap right here, right at this volume imbalance. So let's delete that. And let's delete that. And let's delete that. Let's clean up the chart a little bit. So we had volume imbalance there. Let's change the color of that. All right, and right in the middle of that volume imbalance is also a fair value gap. Right, and order block right there. So my last entry, can I get a nice save at 8 ticks? I want to keep it. I want to keep it at 8 ticks. And again, we're coming in here. I don't know, they might want to turn around again. That's like 26 ticks there. So we'll watch it, right? It goes up to the top and it looks like it wants to turn around. We are trying to grab this 88 so we can like deal with this drawdown right there. And let's see. What's the NASDAQ saying? So, hasn't taken out those highs yet. So let's see if they come back down for an entry. All right. Okay. All right, kitty, you coming? All right, gonna buy. We're gonna buy. Yes, yes. All right, so we're in again. So if this one fails, then we'll just stop for the day and keep it moving. You know, I really should get used to, but look at the bodies are, you know, them trying to wick down and take. I should really go for midpoint of this thing. I really should. Come on, baby. Let's do it. And stopped out yet again. Let's flatten it. Okay, so that would mean that I would essentially have to stop trading for the day. So let's go up to the 5 minute. Since we are, yes, buddy. Okay. You just want to climb on me. Are you guys seeing this? No, you're not. Okay. All right, let's hang out on the 5 minute for the time being, just so we can see the structure. What have we done? We took sell side out. We came, okay. So let's take this guy. Let's approximate constant approach with that wick. The 5 minute. What am I doing wrong here? Let me look at my going long is always so much harder for me. I don't know why that is. Okay, so rejection block. All right, let's see. Are they respecting this 5 minute fair value gap? Let's see. Okay, I think what I need, they're going to take this out to continue up. What time is it? I'm also forgetting the freaking time. So far, I've been shook out about 3 times, so approximately $500 in the hole. I don't know. This is not good. This is why I gotta keep practicing until I can understand and see the exact thing. All right, so I need them to, so it still feels bullish. I just think my entries are not quite ideal yet, right? Because, let me copy this. Because in my short entry that I'm using as a potential model, right? We came up here, we came back up, we created a rejection block. We had something, fair value gap, volume imbalance that came into that and then dropped precipitously afterwards, after a nice shift. Is this the 5 minute? It's a shift on the 5 minute. Okay, so I'm being silly. So I'm looking for the shift on the 5 minute and then an entry on the 1 minute. Okay, so I'm being silly. So let's look at how that played out before. So we have the drop, rejection block, shift, and they came back down into what? Oh, this fair value gap right here. Dropped. Okay. So could have been a buyer inside of this. Okay. So we haven't had that really form yet. So it dropped. We've come up. We've taken this out. Then I need, yeah, they haven't taken this. They've made a lower, a short-term high here, and this they haven't taken this intermediate term high yet. So I am being, what's what I'm looking for? Let's take that all off. I am not being patient. And it's hard when they're at this guy, right? Because they like to play inside of it, and they were just hanging out inside of it during the Asian range, and they popped up. So the opening price, I still think is a Judas swing. Or should I consider this the Judas swing? Oh, I've been so like long biased. Like I want a long so bad that yeah. Oh my goodness, look at this. So this is 12:30. Judas swing up. They had a shift here, fair value gap. If you take an entry here, drop, aiming for, below these guys. Ah, beautiful. It came up again and I, I. They just came up and tapped CE of this. So I was not taking this shift and then this shift into account. Dang it. Okay. For it to be really a strong one, we need them to take like buy side a few times, then come back down to continue on up and make a higher low. Okay. So they've only taken it once. All right, let's continue on. Okay. Using this as support. Just playing inside of this fair value gap and this new week opening gap. Okay. Let me get out of here. Okay, so we made a higher. So, but we haven't taken this wick out. Just finally took it out. So I'm gonna go to a 1 minute now. All right, so I took that out. Finally took that out. So this, what was down here? So I'm looking for the most optimal entries. I can't just, if I'd just gone with this, then, in here, the order block that was in here, midpoint, entry would have been picked up here, rallied up. And I don't know, would I have bothered? Because I mean, just all the way up to here is what I could have comfortably been okay with. Midpoint up to there, 30 ticks, not bad. Recover a little something, something, but I want the longer run. All right, so we've taken all this out and been wicking in this thing. Wicking, wicking, wicking. That's a lot of wicking. I don't know. So I don't want them to get below here. So let's delete that, delete that. Oops, easy. All right. And let's check the NASDAQ. All right, so this would have been a good, well, hold on. Okay. Equal lows there, higher lows. Oh, there you are. Finally, something that I recognize. This would have been good. Like this is what I'm looking for it to go up. So once I saw this, because the other way, I guess, delineates it's going in the opposite direction. This one, when this delineates like a stop run to me. So if this is going up and Nasdaq's telling me it's gonna go up, and this is just a stop run for them to come back up. So uh, a potential entry after this happened would be, you know, the order block right in the middle, right there, the wick. Well, we have a couple of things, and so far on the 1 minute, they're not being super strong, are they? So volume imbalance. right in here. And then they hit that to the tick. Low is 38.97. And the low, the open of this candle is 38.97 to the tick. The precision is what I'm looking for. So I need to understand the signature. So 8 ticks on that one. And then finally be able to make it all the way up here for, that's a 67 tick hit, right? But the precision is what I'm looking for. Now they finally busted above here, and this is a signature that I need to understand. Okay, so now that they've done all of this wicking, the only potential entry, I don't foresee them coming back down, is this volume imbalance order block. Right? So I don't know. Let's continue to test the waters. We're back at the opening price. Okay. That would have been a nice little, that's where I would want to enter. I don't think it's going to give me an opportunity to go up. Because I think now the shift has properly happened, right? The rest was just being annoying. Okay. Ah, dang it. Back to the opening price. And another fair value gap. So technically you could just buy anything here. This is where I would want it. This entry down here would be perfect, but that's not what we saw, so. And if I were to do something silly, risking $100 every time. Up here, 83 ticks, I don't know. So below that, let's say I was to enter here, let's buy, all right? And of course, I'm about to get stopped out again, sure. And flatten, so that's another $100 gone. So I'm down the hole about 600. So in terms of actual order blocks, I still don't understand the proper entry within this new week opening gap, right? I think that's my problem. I don't. So midpoint in this fair value gap. Let's see here. Actually, I'm gonna say this wick, but now let's go midpoint. So approximate midpoint's about there. But if I choose midpoint of this wick, then somewhere about there would be entry. 8 ticks would be below there. And all right. And let's see. Coming down. All right. So bad place for an entry. This is a lot cleaner. Okay. So now it's gonna run away. Let's delete that for now because we know where we're going. Okay. So using this as support, then I should be able to buy right here. Let's pretend that's what I did. Let's try the next candle. Yes, let's buy right there. All right. All right. Can we? It hasn't taken the highs out. Lows. All right. Oh, okay. So given where we bought, again with the 8 tick stop loss, would that next candle have kicked me out? Why, yes, it would have. So flatten. I gotta find these entries that work. So these 8 ticks have to cover the order block that I'm playing with. So I'm not being very... Okay, let's go back up. Maybe we should do this on the 5 minutes. So maybe we should wait for this to get taken out. Okay, let's just note it as buy side. Okay, they're right at it. Okay. So we know they're going to take it. But where are we? So we're midpoint yet again of this guy. Do you want to come further down? Let's delete this and that and that. And do we have anything? So everything is pointing. Shallowly took it out here. Strong red candle. So if I get a nice let's see, what have we done? We took that out. We're back at the midnight opening price. And signature wise, we've dropped. We've made this. We rallied above it. And we've come back into a fair value gap. To the midpoint of this. So if I were to buy here and don't want 20 ticks, I want 8 ticks. That's $100. So if I were to buy here, sit, midpoint of that order block, let's do it. And you know what? We're being silly. Let's do a little aiming. All right, we know they're going to take out buy side here. So first target's up here. Buy side. All right, it's up there. We know we have a fair value gap all the way up here, so we'll manage the trade. And I'll note moving the stop loss. So my real target is all the way up here. So I've been testing out entries and losing money slowly. What time is it? 5:05. Okay, so I missed the 2 midnight because I wasn't properly looking at it. Shallow takes on the NASDAQ. Okay, let's see. So let's see what it looks like on the 1 minute. We went ahead and bought it like a weirdo. We're inside of this 1 minute fair value gap. And we're down here, so about to get, need this to act as support. Of course, flatten. I've literally been wrong this entire time. I mean, come on. Where are you going? I should assume that they're just gonna sweep inside of all of this and the entry should be right in there. Let's see how that works. Let's buy again. That's 8 ticks. They've already made a wick. Let's see if they're gonna take it. So maybe I should wait until they've made a wick. Okay. Flatten. Ah, okay. All right. This is most annoying. So wait, what am I doing wrong here? Let's focus in on what this looks like. So they took out the folks here. They took out the folks here. Do they need, if they don't take this out, then I can go long. Coming down. All right, see if they turn around. Yes, okay. So they don't take this out, turn around. Maybe I can get the entry from here again. Right? Ah, I wanted to buy right there. Okay, let's see if we get another option. Now we're going back up. Rejection from there. So maybe, because none of this has been clean, right? Maybe we wait for a clean shift. Oops. That is looking like it's acting as support. We're inside the fair value gap again. Did they leave one? No? Okay, I'm gonna buy right in here. And this again, so that's where that is. I want 8 ticks. Ugh, it's 20. I think 20 is where it's supposed to be. 8, I seem to be getting kicked out on 8. Is at the very base of that. My preference would have been the entry here. So, let's assume the 8 ticks from where my entry would have been with a little thing, okay? Since I can't be precise. Okay. And, all right. All right. Okay, so we are cooking with a little bit of Crisco. Now, if this thing stops here and turns around, then I'm going to exit and just, enjoy some of my, okay, enjoy some, when we're back. Ah, come on. Well, I mean, honestly, like, oh, look at me. I'm looking at it on the 5 minute. Once the entry happened, I want to look at it on the 1 minute so I can track it properly, right? So on the 1 minute, oh, that's the 1 hour, sorry. On the 1 minute, I would have been able to track it properly and exit properly. All right, so, and we could see the entry properly on the 1 minute. And this right here. So I'm going to delete that. All right, so fair value gap, order block right there. I'm trying to see how well this has worked. So far with this price action, it's not doing anything for me, and I'm not noticing the time of day either, which is something I need to really pay attention to. So I'm still sticking here. And still getting that 8 tick. But they didn't choose to take this out. But let's see. They took these relative equal lows out, right? They had the shift here. And in my 1, 2, going long is so hard for me. I don't know if you guys have the same. So it's so hard for me. Let's flatten that, okay? And take that L. So it's a lot. So let's say that's the case. We've dropped back down, taken that out. Big shift down. I don't know what. I need to see a shift. They haven't taken any of this stuff down, so let's go up. Did they leave anything juicy? They did. They left this right here, and they turned around and they didn't take any of this. They took that. Do you want to take this too? Rolling back down. Inside of this guy. So we had 2, right? Oh, and we're inside of this new week opening gap. Like, it really does mess with me. This is all very annoying and choppy. Okay, so what does this look like? It's wick. Okay, so we have this wick. All right, so I don't want. So I would be looking for an entry. Yeah, midpoint of the wick. I don't want him to get any lower. So let's see. We're still trying to get above all of this stuff and get into this new week opening back gap up here. Maybe I can recoup all my losses. Oops, Josie. And now we're again below. So we're scoring back up. It's buy side up here. And they still have equal buy side. They tapped it but dropped. I'm so long. So this is something that I need to work on, right? Like, I'm so long focused that I could have, all the shorts I could have taken that were beautiful. Look at this. Taken, drop. Um, I don't know. Has been crushing with this wick, drop back down into this guy for a nice little entry. It's bad. I'm so adamant. And this is something I need to work on, flexibility, right? So I want to see them take this out. Coming back in. And said I wanted something down here. Let's see. But they're inside this. I feel like I should just wait for them to come back down here again and just be stupid because that's all they seem to be doing is just tapping it and going. And maybe I'm just wrong. Okay. And this is a clean break. Reach back down. This price entry right here is what I should have been looking for. Nice clean break. Yeah. So that's gone. Maybe they'll give me another opportunity. Hanging about the midnight price. What time is it? 6:30 in the morning? All right, so we're gonna wait and just let price poke about. So this is what happens when you're constantly like trying to get back in. Maybe they'll give me another opportunity. Let's see. Ooh, volume imbalance. See how they behave inside of it. And let's take a look at the NASDAQ. So it's lower. That's about, yeah, it's a little lower too, so it's okay. All right. Gonna come back down and just give me an entry down there. Yeah, you are. Because that's what you seem to want to do. You just want to play inside of this thing. Time is it? 6:44. Okay. Eight. So actually, if we're gonna test this entry out, it should be at the top of that fair value gap right over there. I mean the midpoint, which is where they came back to. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Nah, I'm not gonna cheat. Let's look at the flow. They can take this out. Made a higher low. They need to take it out. I don't know. If they can't take it out, then with this, I don't have. I want to be long, but and this entry would have been the right one. Come back into it. I don't like they didn't take that out. That bothers me. And they're using the midnight price as resistance at the moment. 6:54. So we're back here. They're just made relatively equal highs. Okay. Volume imbalance. So let's see what this looks like on the 5-minute. Yeah. Still very choppy. I want them to take this out. And they haven't taken this out either. So maybe I should be looking for a short and stop trying to like long the crap out of this. Because they gave us a shift. And let's go to the 1-minute. And yeah, look at the NASDAQ. It's not trying to take out the highs. So very obvious SMT. Yeah, so it's probably going back down again. Actually, see. Yeah, okay. That one. So the NASDAQ is pointing downward, and the S&P is it's also pointing downward, but it's not trying to take out. It's not trying to make a in a lower line. It's not trying to make a lower low either. I don't know what that says. All right, let's look at it for a short. Maybe we can just start to slowly recoup. Okay. So from a shorting perspective, here's what I want. They came back up into it. Oh, they come consequent encroachment. And I think they should shift right there. So volume imbalance, want them to come back up here and then give me a short entry. Okay, let's sell. And let's see, from that entry, 8 ticks. So this is a proper entry, right? And maybe they want to come down into this volume imbalance right here. So that's 16. Maybe we can get 20 ticks out of this, recoup a little bit more. Oh, well, let's do a little aiming. Actually, let's not use that. Let's use that bottom and that high. So we're looking for them to, they made a higher low, they didn't really go back up very far. So let's see. Okay. Coming into that, let's see. Don't like the behavior. Finally a long. Are we doing an IO Fed here? Okay, I'm gonna flatten it here because I don't trust it. The short. We just strongly took that out. And are we about to take this out? And here to here. This is going up. That's going down. I don't know what that means. So let's wait. I'm gonna take that out. Shift here. They came back down. Everything is, so it's using it as support. I think if I'm, well, I should have left it alone for the short. The stop loss looked proper on that one for that entry, right? It was well above anything. And then aiming inside of this thing. Let's see. But my instinct said with the support here, it's going up and the support here, so let's see. So you've been watching me basically make the wrong decisions around this model that I'm trying, but I'm just not able to, I'm still not doing a very good job of things. I wanted to take this out. Support there, order block there. Did take that out. Yeah. What time is it? 7? I gotta keep practicing this so much. Gotta keep practicing it. And if I'm being honest, like price should move about at least 2 standard deviations of the Asian range. So which would be about there. Like that's where I really want it to go. Or 2. That's what I really want. So maybe we can get something. So this is saying it's going up. That's saying it's going down. Maybe we should believe the NASDAQ, huh? What do you think? So let's believe the NASDAQ and buy. Ay. Let's see. All right. All right. Come on, you can use move 5 handles. Finally. Jeez. Took freaking forever, right? Okay, so it's okay. I don't want it to get past this area. I want this to act as support. Is the body still in there? It is. Body's still in there. It didn't hold it, so I'm gonna flatten and take the $100 and see if we can adjust or process. Now we're about fixing this drawdown. So NASDAQ is going up. That's good. And problem sometimes you can get real zoomed in. So let's find a higher time frame PD array for an entry. All right, so looking for it at the opening price if we're gonna get it. And let's look at this. Like this entry would have been perfect. So opening price. We have this. I want that to stay open. Okay. Oh, I didn't notice this volume imbalance. Just that one. It's not really a volume imbalance. This guy right here. Let's take this off. If we come in here and we see that it's holding it up. Okay, nice. I like that. So, could have held the trade, but I should have had this as the one that I wanted to work with, not the other one. Okay, and this looks like it might be an IO Fed tap and go scenario. Let's see. And now we're tapping into that. Sigh. Okay. So once we broke above this guy here, and it left us this guy with entry. It's not clean, but the base of that volume. Actually, no. Yeah. And 8 ticks. So I'm trying to be able to see it beforehand, right? Come all the way up. My actual desire is for it to reach all the way up here. About halfway through, approximately. That's my desire. Now, I don't know what the ADR is for the day, and I probably should average daily range. So things that I need to note, right? So I'm just gonna add that on the bottom and then switch that. I want to use the last 5 days worth and 1 point. So from right here, 1.66. You don't know what that means. So let's bring that down. Zoom in. So it's finally rolling in the way we wanted. I want to keep this open. I prefer if this keeps open. And if it comes back down for an entry, I want midpoint. This is an IO Fed stuff, so let's see. And now it's spiking in. It's going to roll all the way through that. Nice. Nice. Okay. What I've been looking for this whole time, but not. See? Beautiful. And maybe we'll come back down and give us an opportunity. Finding support there. Support. Consolidating. Yeah, so don't care about that. I want him to come back down here. Okay, looks like they're not. They do like to play around inside of these things for a bit, as we've noticed here, as it's busted me up like a ton this whole time. What's the time? 7:41. So I don't even know if there's going to be any news or anything. Okay, so if I want to be bullish and they're working inside of a new week opening gap, I need to wait for that to get for them to break out of it and remain out of it. All right, let's go back to the 5 minute. Okay. Because once they've broken out of it and they stay out of it and give a clean entry, that's when I can get in here potentially. Because this entry was better. Okay, we can clean this up a bit. I would have preferred for them to come here. They did an IO Fed in here, just tapped it and went. All right, so now what have we done? We've made a shift here. If they don't take this out, they're going to come back down. If this doesn't hold it, then they'll come back into this for another potential entry. Okay, so fair value gap right in here. Let's see if we can just eyeball it. They do take it out, so nice. Did it leave us anything? Just this wick? I still think they're going to play around in here some, so I don't know. Let's let that play out. If that's the case, then I can take a short from here, come down just on principle. Let's see how well that would work, right? Before we press a button, let's say we just took a short from here. 8 tick stop loss. Now I'm just in the business of recouping stuff, right? Trying to come back down to the base of that. And I like to do that, right? And let's use this, that. From the base of that would be for them to come all the way down here. So let's see. Let's sell just as a test. See how that works out. Okay. Just given the way they behave in here, look at that. Just learning things. Okay, so if they can't take this out, and it allows me to, then I'll close it out. Because I feel like they need to take the lows out to prep with the higher high. Then you take the lows out to turn around, give the institutional guys some stuff. But since we stopped here, I'm going to flatten and take my monies, slowly repairing that. So as they're playing around in here, I'm just going to start to use that to my advantage. Okay, so fair value gap in here. They're about in the middle, so I'm not going to bother to touch it. So, okay. All right, so came back into this volume imbalance right here. Top of that order block, halfway point. Okay, so, all right. Okay, so similar scenario. Now I understand. I need to wait for them to come out, give me the structure, and then I can do what I want. Okay, taking that out, shift. And let's see what the NASDAQ's looking like. Oh, look at that. So the NASDAQ made a lower low, and this guy made a higher high. It's coming down. It's coming to the order block here. I think it's coming back down. Yeah, you liar. You lie. Yeah, you lie. Okay. So I'm gonna do that sell thing again. From here just to get a little bit back. When it hits 250, you know. Ooh, maybe. All right. Okay, they didn't take that out, so maybe I'm wrong. Let me specify 8 ticks from here. That's all the loss I'm willing to take. Yeah, that's not good. Okay. So I would have been, so flatten that out, so be wrong. I did take this out, so they come back into an order block. All right, so I want them to, so this one was fine. A couple of things I should have waited. Okay. All right, nice shift up. All right. Now let's see if they give us a nice entry potential. Shift. Okay. They've given us a fair value gap right here. Order blocks right there. I'm gonna assume for a midpoint if I can. Okay. All right. I don't know if it's gonna give me. All right. So that doesn't look right. I wanted it to come in and reject it. So it's coming back down again. We did have the shift. Do we have zoom in? Shallow shift on the NASDAQ. Are you in line going up? Shallow, 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 shallow. And this is, that's good. Still coming down. All right. Care about that. Yeah. So they came all the way back down to, let's see, what the 5-minute look like. Ah, silly Shakira. So the 5-minute order block is right here inside of this, inside of the fair value gap. Anything closer to it? Breaker block. Okay. Sometimes when you're zoomed in too close, man, it's hard. All right, so they are respecting this. So let's see if we get another opportunity. I'm gonna tap this and we can go. Okay, we're slowly making our way up. So we have the shift. Need it to leave me something. Okay, came here into this. All right, so the signature is what I'm looking for. So here we had a number of, see, okay, so cell size taken, coming, they came back down into this order block. I don't like it. And that's pointing up, NASDAQ. I don't like it, so let's wait. Okay. See what's going on here. So the high probability was when this was going down and that was going up. And then for this one, that's going up. Huh. The NASDAQ hasn't really taken, it hasn't taken its highs out. It's flat. It's like it doesn't want to go any higher. So maybe I'm looking for a short back into the fair value gap. So we have a rejection block right here. Okay, so let's see what it does. Okay, it doesn't close a candle above it though. Still too many wicks. Still hasn't closed anything above it. Stop runs. Coming back in. I think we're coming back in. All right, need a proper shift. Nothing. Haven't closed anything above it. Okay. A little bit of a shift there. Got nothing. Oh, do we have a news play that's this day? Probably. All right. Now, if it's a news play that we're working with, let's dip that, dip that, dip that, dip that, dip that. Okay. So what I care about is we can delete all the stuff here. Sell side's already gone. And this was buy side here. It tapped into consequent encroachment up there. So if, because it's a news day and I'm still very bullish, if we can get a candle to come all the way back down here to consequent encroachment of this wick, I'm going long. I don't care what it is. Let's see. Okay, took that out. And coming back down. Coming back down. New week opening gap. Whoa. Okay, so it hit it. So I would want to be a buyer here. So I'm going to hit buy and we're going to assume my stop loss is just past here. All right. And we're going to try and dive into all of this up here. All right. Coming in. Can probably recoup some stuff here. All right. New week opening gap. All right, we're doing a little annoying rejection of stuff. Holding on to it. I'm going to be annoying and flatten here just to recoup. So I'm just reducing things. Now, if they come back to here, I'll go ahead and buy again. Oh, let's buy right there. Okay. Stop loss down here. So long position. So 8 tick stop loss. That's not very far. I need to at least be below this wick. Let's see. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, when they come up here, I would have closed it again, midpoint, because I'm trying to reduce drawdown because it might try and drop me. So I bet. Okay, coiling back up. All right, nicely. We're at the top of this thing. I'm gonna flatten it again. Now we're in like $25 of profit. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so given all of that, this insanity here, I don't even know how long this video is. Oh God, I've been sitting here for like an hour 48. Sorry, guys. I don't even know if I'm gonna bother to post this, but nah, I will. All right, let's see what they do in here. Okay. All right, so they're gonna play around, mess about in here. All right. Going up. Now, in the real world scenario, I would have probably moved my stop loss to about halfway point and continued, but shift. All right. No fair value gap. Nothing. So just gonna wait. All right. All right. So they've given us a fair value gap right here. Okay, I'm just gonna watch the bodies and see if I get two or 3 candles tapping it. That's one. Okay, beautiful. So if it comes back in here, I want to buy again and try and ride it up. Okay, so where's the order block on this thing? So fair value gap by itself is not a good plan, right? So let's look at the 5-minute. That's what it looks like on the 5 minutes. Okay, so if there's a red candle, I'll buy that next. Oh, still respecting it, right? So let's say I take in at the base of this thing, my 8 tick, because I want a clear entry, like super clear. We want to dip all the way up in here. Let's see. If I had been like, oops, it's that guy right there. There's no order block attached to it, right? So I guess, and the order block's actually with the wicks about there. Take the body would be about there. The low of this candle is 39.2250, and yeah, so I would have been stopped out right there. Okay, so let's wait and see what happens. So we have a nice juicy green candle. All right, so we are let's see. Let's see. Okay, I feel like they're gonna work this wick on their way up. So it's about consequent encroachment of that wick. They've tapped through that. So eyeball that. So they've tapped halfway through that. So they're probably going to drop back down into this order block down here, but no fair value gap, but shift. So let's wait. And I could be wrong, right? So let's wait. What's the time? 8:52. Okay. All right. Okay. Coming up. All right, we're at constant encroachment, and my long entry from here would have been nice. And all right. Swick. So this was the right play. This guy shook everybody out. Wait. Did I hold the phone? Tiny, tiny, tiny volume imbalance in here. Oh, I didn't see that. Beautiful. This would have been better for me, entry-wise. Right here. Beautiful. And do we have an order block? Ah, yes, we do. Look at that. That, like, those two are perfectly in alignment, right? And then open that up with my 8 tick stop loss, because this is too close, right? I couldn't have gotten it proper 8 ticks. This order block will be past mean threshold, let's see, of the body here. And my stop loss would be just below mean threshold. That would be a good one. I need to be more specific. And then, didn't see that, because they're definitely going to reach into that. I mean, come on. There's no fair value gaps between here, so that's all they have to reach for. So that guy, and again, and if I'm using this to aim, top of that, approximation, top of that, it's not quite right, but let's move this over, top there, just make sure we're doing it right. Base, okay. So aiming into this guy, midpoint is, so I'm aiming for the midpoint of that. So yeah, nice correlation there. So if I were to say I want this right there, then was that? And that would be a 96 run. So this is actually working in my favor, but if you zoom out, we're just consolidating. That's what happens when you're consolidating. They mess with you so much. That's why I lost so much. So 2 standard deviations, right? Let's see if we can, if they're gonna write it all the way up to there. Let's do that and come back. And I assume they'll give us another opportunity. We've got order block right here. Tiny fair value gap right here. So let's see. So secondary potential long entry from this order block right there. What does 8 ticks look like? I need it to go below the... No, that's not a good entry. Yeah, there's this order block right here. CE of that is here. Does that coincide with there? So let's see. If I were to take that, 8 ticks, does that get me? Really? I'm climbing all the way up. Let's see if I'd lose $100 on that one. And we have consequent encroachment there. Okay. Coming in hot for this guy. I think he's going to turn around. Okay, so that didn't. So it's coming back down. Now, if I look at the 5 minutes, the entry from the 5 minute is here. But because we have this little gap here, it would be about here at 39.24. So I'm going to assume there's nothing here. And let's take that off. And what do we have? So we have a fair value gap right here that they're hanging out inside of. This is that consequent encroachment, fair value gap, consequent encroachment. I don't know. I need no shift downwards, so but they haven't taken that high, that intermediate higher. So short-term high, short-term high, short-term low, intermediate low, short-term low. Still just inside of it. The fact that it's hanging out, it's probably still going up. Let's get a shift if we can. Not even that. Consolidating. Okay, nice shift. Did it leave us anything juicy for an entry? Oh, yeah. No. Yes. Small, small. Small, small, small. Right there. But they could tap back into this, so let's see what they do. Right down. Okay. That's nice. Order block. Right there. Shift. Now a little opportunity. Come on back down. Hang out with me. Okay. So we're coming up close to the target. But this worked nicely. Okay. Taking that out. Not even specifying buy side at this point, which is crazy. Wow, when you get to 728. Okay, so last set of price action and then I'll stop. Ooh, it probably is all dark now. Yeah, so it's coming into the objective. So I'm just gonna hit play and then be done with it for the moment. Pause. Okay. So look. They just tap that. Zoom in here. And we also have CE of this wick to contend with. Beautiful. Took that out. CE of the wick climbed up. So now I think they're going to dive back in. So let's see. If we'd said CE, 8 ticks, that's beautifully below the volume imbalance. And what time is it? Still nothing. It's 9:35. So I should have waited. Well, need to know what's going on. So we're aiming for all of this. Okay. So now we have what is essentially free reign to just ride this guy out. They might, there we go. Nice. All right, order block, came right back into it. Continue back up, fair value gap. Come back down. Fair value gap is supporting it. All right, we're going back up. And we're going to continue our ride. So we've taken there and taken there. So that's not bad. So that's 136 ticks from that one. And this one would have been 79 ticks if we'd gone with the CE entry. And honestly, I would have wanted the volume imbalance with the 8 ticks in there. And that would have taken me to, for this order block, so volume imbalance end of it, top of that order block, below mean threshold of the wick. So that would have made me happy there. Anyway, so I just learned a bunch of things. I'm going to keep practicing until this stuff makes sense. And it's going to be like, basically like this, no more like hour long, longer long. All right, sorry it's so dark, but that's me. I'm going to go relax myself and enjoy the rest of my Saturday. So I guess Kitty's gone to nap somewhere. So drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Shakira, out.